Today's tale will awaken your soul. Therefore, we request you to listen to this story until the very end. The story begins on a cold morning. The sun's rays had not yet properly touched the earth. The village's most dedicated female nurse, Selina Ose, receives a serious report. She is informed that in a distant village, a young man has been accused of poisoning his own mother and is now gravely ill himself, needing immediate medical attention. As soon as Selina hears this on the hospital radio, she gets into the medical transport vehicle and heads towards the scene. It was her first year in nursing service, but through her compassion and quick thinking, she had earned the respect of the entire hospital. She was known as determined, fair, and strictly devoted to the ethics of healing. When she reaches the village, the scene is troubling. A middle-aged woman lies on the ground with signs of poisoning, already deceased. Sitting next to her is a young man, around 21 to 22 years old, holding a small container of herbs in his hand, himself showing symptoms of the same poison. Put the container down and let me help you. You need medical attention immediately. The young man, without protest, drops the container to the ground and sits silently with his head lowered. Selina begins treating his symptoms and takes him to the hospital. The young man's name is Kwame Baidu. There is no fear or remorse in his eyes, as if what was meant to happen had already happened. At the hospital, he is kept in isolation for several hours. Selina waits for the toxicology report and confirmation of the village elder's investigation. Kwame is not silent. He doesn't give any justification in his favor, nor does he ask any questions. After some time, news arrives that after examining the preliminary evidence, the village elders and regional authorities have declared Kwame guilty of matricide and condemned him to death. However, under the tribe's law, before the date of execution, a period of 2 months is given for the soul to make peace. This time is allotted for final prayers and last wish fulfillment. Kwame is brought back to the same hospital where Selina is posted. He is kept in a separate room, where there is no monitoring equipment, only a small window that lets in a little light. A few days later, a woman arrives at the hospital crying, saying someone had stolen her healing herbs and medicines. Selina immediately sends her colleagues to search the woman's home and stays at the hospital because Kwame needs constant medical attention due to his deteriorating condition. A while later, when she goes to check on Kwame, she finds him staring at the window with a fixed gaze. Did this verdict not cause you any pain? Your mother is no longer in this world, and you haven't even mentioned any reason for what happened. Kwame smiles faintly and looks at her. There is no hatred or mockery on his face, but rather a strange calmness. Selina composes herself and ends the conversation. Just then, she receives a message. The theft complaint was false, and the herbs had actually been taken by the woman's son for treatment. The matter was resolved, and Selina returned to Kwame. This time, she brings him a cup of medicinal tea. You have 2 months' time. If you have any last wish, you can tell us. According to our traditions, a condemned person's last wish is fulfilled before execution. My last wish is that, as long as I live, every night I want to spend time with a healing woman who has never known a man. Selina's face becomes stern for a moment. She could immediately scold him, but she restrains herself. This is not a normal wish. We cannot forcibly send any woman to you. Then why not you? You are also unmarried, and the tradition says the last wish must be fulfilled. A heat spreads within Selina, but she does not express her anger nor give him any reply. I will think about it. That night, Selina could not sleep peacefully. Her mind was filled with many questions and doubts. Can a person's last wish go beyond moral limits? Does she have to strike a balance between her duty and humanity? The night was getting deeper, and Kwame's faint smile kept flashing in front of her eyes again and again. The next morning, Selina Ose is sitting at her desk, thinking. She hadn't been able to sleep the entire night. Kwami's words keep circling in her mind. Why not you? This line spins in her head again and again. On one side is her inner humanity, which is saying that perhaps Kwami really is alone and helpless. On the other side is her duty, which is stopping her from fulfilling his wish. She does not inform any of her seniors about this matter, but she has decided that she will get to the bottom of this incident. In the following days, Selina speaks to Kwami several times. He always twists his words, but each time he says something wise. Sometimes he speaks about his mother, sometimes about the village, and sometimes he says he accepts the punishment. At times he would say, "My mother comes in my dreams every night." One night, Selina is alone in the ward. The other nurses have gone to attend an emergency in another village. The sound of rain can be heard, and flashes of lightning break the silence. Selina goes near Kwami's room. She feels that perhaps he will say something new today. She stands silently for a moment, staring at him. He is lying down with his eyes closed, but his face looks calm. "Do you remember your mother every day, but now nothing matters?" "Did you really?" "No, but even if I say it, what's the point? No one will listen. Everyone has already assumed that I'm guilty." His voice carries no emotion or justification, only a tired layer of reality. Selina's eyes fill with tears. She asks herself, have I treated this case as just an ordinary case? Have I become a part of that crowd that simply assumes a person to be guilty? But now there is little time left. If Kwami's words are true, then it must be proven. The next day, Selina begins searching through the medical documents. She re-examines the village toxicology report, the mother's belongings, the herb samples, everything. Some unclear clues catch her eye. Some things are not adding up. The herbs that had poisoned Kwami's mother were not native to their region but were known to be sold by an influential healer in the village, who had previously been caught in illegal medicine trading cases. Selina begins a secret investigation against that person. Meanwhile, Kwami is still holding on to his last wish. "Don't you want anything else?" "No, because I have no more expectations from life. But I have fallen in love with you. I have never seen a woman as honest and compassionate as you." Selina realizes that inside Kwami, there still remains an innocent man who has been turned to stone by circumstances. One night, when everything around is silent, Selina crosses her boundaries. She takes off her nursing uniform, wears a traditional dress, and goes to Kwami. There is no lust in her eyes, only trust. She sits beside him, listens to his words, and sees him as a human being. There is no force, no compulsion, only the silence between two people and some incomplete emotions. In the morning, for the first time, light is seen in Kwami's eyes. "If you believe in my story, then give me a chance to prove my innocence. Now, this is my fight." Now, Selina has two paths in front of her: to ignore the statement of an accused person like everyone else and let him face the death penalty for a crime he perhaps didn't commit, or to bring out the truth with all her strength and honesty, even if for that, she has to fight against her own village system. Information from the village begins coming to light through the secret investigation Selina started. It's found that Kwami's mother had filed a complaint against the influential healer Kwakutawia for selling dangerous herbs. That evening, Kwakutawia had been seen near Kwami's mother's house. Selina takes this case personally. She informs the head doctor that she wants to conduct a final investigation before the execution. At first, she is mocked, but when she files a strong case and presents it before the village elders, she is given 15 days. If within that time, she can prove Kwami's innocence, the case will be reopened. During this time, Kwame becomes somewhat hopeful, but he remains silent. Even if you can't do it, thank you. Because of you, I was able to feel like a human for a few days. Your truth is my test. I will not give up. Selina goes to the village and quietly speaks to many people. Many witnesses are afraid, but an old healer, a neighbor of Kwame's mother, finally speaks the truth. Kwakutawia's men had entered the house at night and poisoned Kwame's mother. Kwame had returned home and chased away the attackers, but by then, his mother had already consumed the poison drink. He then drank from the same cup in grief, which is why he too fell ill. She had not said this earlier because Kwakutawia's men had threatened her. Selina records her statement, cross-checks it with the medical report, and collects evidence of the herb's origin. All the evidence shows that Kwame is innocent. Selina applies to the village council for investigation. A hearing is held, the witnesses are called, the evidence is presented, and Kwakutawia is arrested. The case is discussed throughout the region. Finally, the council overturns the previous verdict, and Kwame is released. When Kwame comes out of the council hut, he quietly walks to Selina and says, "You gave me back my life." The fight for justice doesn't only happen in the council, it also happens between the mind and the conscience. A few months later, they are often seen together. Selina makes no marriage announcement, and Kwame makes no statement, but those who see them find respect and peace in their eyes for each other. The story of a patient and a nurse, which had started from a strange desire, has now taken the shape of a relationship built on trust, struggle, and honesty. The story does not end here. It only holds a mirror to a society where not every accused may be guilty. Sometimes, the path to justice must pass through human emotions as well. Friends, this is the moral of our tale. Truth and justice may sometimes be hidden, but with courage and compassion, they will always find their way to light. Never judge someone by what others say, for every person deserves to be heard. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to bring you more stories that touch the heart and inspire positive change. See you in the next video.